defensive coordinator is going to have a plan of attack. They're going to want to take away an aspect of your game. So as we go each week, we try to add a few things. But really, we're at a point now where we got to be good at our base stuff. And I think what you're seeing is guys are a lot more confident in just the base stuff, and then we add the tweaks each week based off of the game plan. And so we'll never try to add too much just to add too much for the sake of saying we're great, coaches and whatnot. But we're going to try and make sure we have a plan that fits the scheme and then also puts our players in a position to be successful. So as we've gone on each week, those little tweaks, whenever it carries over, you're able to carry those over, and then maybe you can use those to add another little wrinkle, as you get into it. But right now, it's championship football. You got to win at the point of attack, got to be able to run the football, stay balanced, and then take advantage of the things in the passing game that they're going to give you.
Speaking of the wrinkle, this week we saw a little bit of two-back stuff that we haven't seen lately. Was that just something you saw particularly for this game that you wanted to implement?
Yeah, that was something, and Coach Sweeney as well. Just challenging. And again, we got a lot of support staff that goes out and tries to keep us, abreast of what's going on with everybody in the country. And we saw an opportunity to get those guys on the field, maybe give them something that they hadn't seen before, just to make them communicate a little bit more on the sideline. So that was a wrinkle there, and it worked out for us, and it gave us an opportunity to come up with a screen. So those are the kind of things, just small packages like that. But at the end of the day, when it came down to it, we were running our base, inside run game, and the guys up front did an unbelievable job of creating a new line of scrimmage, and the running backs benefited from it.
Paxton Carmen seems like he's doing more and more meaningful snaps. What have you seen from him down the stretch kind of more impact?
He's just every day you see a little bit more and more maturity out of him. Obviously, we know physically how talented he is, but also you're seeing a lot more maturity, just trying to really take ownership of the little things, and that's really what it takes. And obviously, for him. Coming in, there's a lot of expectations. You're playing behind Mitch, and another thing I've seen is he's really absorbed, the relationship and the information that Mitch is passing on to him, and you're starting to see more consistency in his play, and that gives us, again, added depth going down, but then also whenever we can get him experience, it's huge for him.
Tony, on one of the touchdown runs, another offensive lineman, freshman, Matt Bockel, showed a lot of physicality in that play. Can you talk about what he's done so far this year and where he's developed?
No question. It was a guy coming off an injury. We knew that he had the demeanor and that nasty streak about him. And John goes down and he jumps in there, and like you said, all those guys played physical up front. They were out, they had a point to prove, really wanted to own the line of scrimmage. But he's a guy that with reps, he's going to continue to get better. Had some reps early in the season, then he got banged up a little bit at Florida State, missed some time. So now he's back feeling good, and then he had to go in, just like Gage had to step in at center when Falcinelli was out. So just credit to Robbie, just having all those guys ready to play, and then just the mentality of as a whole as a program, that next man up. You're one play away from the team counting on you to win the game.
Coach Trevor's had 3 fumbles now at the mesh point. The other night.
Yeah, that was Lindsay.
Yeah. That just a matter of repetition, or
Yep.
and how difficult is that when you have so many backs like you do?
Correct, and that's and I use the example all the time of Wayne Gallman in the national championship, that we lost. The best block run play, he fumbles the mesh, and so I go back and tell these guys that every single rep that we take on this practice field, I'm saying pocket integrity, bottom shelf. Make sure that your steps are where they need to be, your aiming points where it needs to be, because again, we got to be consistent on that. And really, Trevor did his job. It's just Lindsay, and good old Lindsay. Y'all know, oh, he's a pleasure to be around. He just brings a smile to your face. But he said, "Coach, man, I just saw the hole and I got excited." Well, I said, look, I can't have you getting excited without the ball. Now you got to have the ball to hit the hole. But biggest thing was he just the little things, and that's just going to be a great learning point for him. And they got 7 points off of that too. So they got 7 points off that turnover. And we were in a position where things were clicking, that we had an opportunity to at least maybe drive down, flip the field, or even score points right there. So it is tough, because you got 4 backs trying to get reps with not just Trevor. You got to get him with Chase, then you got to get him with Ben. So just trying, and each one is a little bit different. Each quarterback has his little nuances of how he handles the mesh. Each back step's different. Their depths are different. So again, we got to continue to work on that, and it's my job to make sure that I point out every single day the importance of the little thing. That's my job, is to get them from 7 yards deep to the line of scrimmage, and then their talent takes over after that.
What is your favorite amenity in the Applied Science Lab?
Well, I don't get to use that much. They keep us upstairs, kind of locked in the staff room, game planning. But man, it's unbelievable with all the stuff that they have in there. And I kind of like the float tank. I hadn't been in it, but it seems like it's pretty cool that you can go in there. And I'm kind of scared though, because Amari came out that first time and the salt was in his hair and his hair turned gray. And so I'm not quite ready for my hair to turn gray. I'm already losing it a little bit right here, but the float tank is pretty cool. And just the the support of the administration and the athletic department to give us the resources for that, and then coach just seeing that that's the next phase of growth in college football. And then we got an unbelievable young man in Alex Bina, and just what he's brought to our program, just the science. And I got appreciation for numbers and science and nerdy kind of stuff, being with my engineer background, but just to see what he's been able to do with the stretch zone and the different things that they're doing. But I'd say probably the float tank is the coolest thing.
Tony, you've watched that defensive front, the guys have come back, go up against your guys forever. Given the hype that they had coming into the season, how have you, you must have an appreciation for how they've handled it and prepared for this moment, because this is why they came back.
No question, and just the leadership. Those guys are going to show up every single day, and Christian, nobody works harder than Christian Wilkins. He's the best player, probably the most recognized player. He's got a ton of awards, and yet he's the first one out of the tunnel when we get to the stadium. He's the first one on the practice field. He's the last one to leave. He's grabbing Jordan Williams by the throat and saying, "Come on, this is how we do it." You just seen the leadership that those guys exude. Cleveland is another one. Heck, there's times, I'm getting here early in the morning and he's pulling in right behind me. He's a guy that's here all the time. So just, for those guys to come back, they were very, very focused, but not just focused on accomplishing, things in the postseason, but they knew what it was going to take every single day, and they bring that leadership. And I think that's why, as a whole, you see this team, because we still have some young pieces on offense. We had to fit in some new guys at different spots, but they have four great examples, over on that side that sacrifice, and they have one in their own in Mitch Hyatt too. Mitch doesn't get a ton of credit, in talking about that, but Mitch had a decision to make too, and he decided to come back. And heck, and I've said it all along that since Mitch has been here, we've won a lot of football games, and he's been a staple on that left side, and he's made John Simpson so much better. He's made Falsinelli better. He's made Gage better. He's made Ankrum better. Pollard. He's made all those guys better. So just the tremendous amount of leadership from all those guys that decided to come back is the reason that we sit in this position, and these guys are on track to have a special season.
Coach, Travis has had his issues catching the ball. Must have been nice to see him make that 9-yard catch the other night, and is that something that he's worked really hard on?
Yeah, he should have scored though. Golly, you get Travis that much space, he must have been tired. That's why coach pulled him out and put Taven in right after that. But yeah, it was good to see, and really with Travis is like I'm saying, every single day just pushing him to be his best, because some things have been really, really easy, for him, and he's been able to get away with that, whereas catching the ball is something that he really didn't have to do in high school. They either hand it to him or give him a quick little pitch, and he's off and running. So for him to progress, to become the player that he's capable of being, if he wants to play for a long time at the next level, he's got to be able to really hone in. And again, it's not a physical problem. It's just an attention to detail and making sure that he's not trying to run before he catches the ball. So it was good to see that, and that put us in position to get the ball down there and go score a touchdown a couple plays later.
Tony, your name is likely to pop up in association with potential job opportunities in several weeks. What would it take to extract you from your alma mater?
Man, to be honest, I don't know, and I really haven't thought about it. And I kind of hate this time of year from the standpoint of, man, I got an unbelievable group of seniors. I got an unbelievable group of running backs. We got an unbelievable group of guys on offense that have been extremely committed to this program. They've been unselfish. They've been loyal. They've been committed. And I don't want to be a distraction in any sense of the matter to those guys. And so, that stuff, as I've said before, that's the Lord's plan, the Lord's timing. All that stuff will have its place. But right now, we're in the midst of a championship run, and my focus is on Clemson. And I owe that to this program. I owe it to Coach Sweeney, the staff, these players, that they get my best. And y'all, if y'all follow me on social media, I'm not on social media, so I really don't know what's going on out there, but you do get text messages and what's not. But for me, my focus is on Clemson football. I'm at home here. My boys were born here. I love it here. So I really haven't given much thought as to what lies beyond next week.
Tony, to follow up on that, what kind of luxury is it to have a staff filled with so many Clemson alums and guys that you actually played with and shared the field with? And how big of an advantage is that in recruiting and as well as setting the culture?
Right, I think that just really drives home the overall philosophy that Coach Sweeney has for this program. You know, when it starts with he wants to graduate players and